Oh, better turn it down.
And here we go.
Hi, welcome to the live segment of the Fin Factor.
A very special and magical segment of the live
Right.
Fin Factor. Not so much magical,
Yeah.
maybe special in a different way. But
Right.
yeah, no, we decided to break out the holiday sweater. Holiday sweater.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, yours is nice.
I think so.
That's-
It's
that's
not
pretty
bad.
cool.
I like yours. Yours is very nice.
Thanks.
It's good.
Good little rebel action going. Dear Lord.
That's how we do it.
Yep. So,
So I'm stumped.
big week this week in Sharks games.
Save the battery.
Save it for the show.
Yeah.
4 games this week. We had Minnesota, LA, Arizona. No, 3. Oh, forgot Winnipeg. Minnesota, Winnipeg, LA, Arizona.
We walked away with 4 points out of a possible 8, which isn't good. But considering there were 3 losses involved,
Right.
4 points isn't bad, all things considered.
About 500, right?
Yeah. Well,
Which is
in
what
terms
their
of
record
points,
is roughly.
right?
They
yeah.
are.
No,
just
we're
look
better
this
than
up.
that. We're better than 500 now.
Well, 19 wins and 19 non-wins.
Oh, wait. The Fin Factor's live right now.
Oh, snap.
Just stupid. I'm sorry. Yeah. No, I mean, and it sucks thinking like this team is like a 500 team because it's not, you know. But you know, we started off kind of on the downside, and I think we're ramping up. I think we're getting better. Yes, we lost to 2 teams we absolutely should have beat when you look at just the standings alone. But you know, I tried to relate it to a game of rock paper scissors, right? You've got some teams that are rocks, some teams that are paper, and some teams that are scissors that are out there. And you know, even the really strong teams that are beating up on most other ones. Like say there's a handful of rocks, a whole ton of scissors, and a little bit of paper. The paper's not so great, and the rocks are really good. Well, they're going to beat up on the scissors all day long, but every once in a while you're going to run into one of those crappy paper teams,
Yeah.
and they're still going to beat you, right? So
I was thinking about this earlier. Like, compared to other sports, NHL, I feel like parity. Well, I was going to say like just the skill level or the overall difficulty of every team. There's not really a pushover team.
Yeah.
Even the teams that are in last place, like LA,
mhm.
they're not going to be a pushover every single game.
Right.
So every game's a tough night. It's not like the NBA where the Warriors just
Yeah.
steamroll everyone and only have a couple nights here and there. So
Yeah, and even for the team, like, and you had mentioned this before with playoffs, where we've seen an 8th seed. Unfortunately, it was LA, but we've seen an 8th seed go on and beat a number 1 seed. Not even just beat them, but go on and win everything. Right? They won the cup. You don't see that in some of these other
Right.
sports, like in basketball. First of all, the 8th seed in basketball probably wouldn't beat the number 1 seed. Period.
I think
And
it's
then
only happened once or twice.
and then-
Whereas hockey, it happens a lot.
Right. And then for have that 8th seed charge through the rest of the
Right.
field, nah,
Yeah.
not going to happen, right? In hockey, it's kind of, again, the teams are so tight in terms of their skill level that you can't really just look at the record and say that team sucks compared to this team.
Yeah.
Because on any given night, either one of those teams can really, you know, show their true colors and come out and win. So, I mean, there's no excuses there, really. Again, we should have beat LA. LA is not that good of a team. We should have beat them.
Yeah.
Arizona, they have, you know, a really good PK. Beyond that, I don't think Arizona is like super phenomenal. They got some pretty good young
They're
talent.
not as bad as
but
they used to be.
No.
They're a much better
Right.
team this year than they were
Yeah.
in the past.
Records aside, I think just looking at the rosters and when I think we're a better team.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Nice sweaters. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you think Carlson was the reason we lost tonight? No, I don't think so. I mean,
No.
it didn't help things, but it was interesting to see the Sharks without Carlson to see what it would be like.
I liked your tweet that you
Oh.
said it feels weird
Thanks.
that he's not out there. Does that mean that he's the Shark now, right?
And what's her name?
Yeah. Somebody
Shalana?
responded.
Was like, he's already been a Shark for a minute.
Oh, she's the writer, right?
Yeah. NBC's
It's
Shalana?
Chelena? No, it's not Ch. It's
Shalana.
Shalana. I think you're right. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's Shalana. If you're watching, correct us, please. We can get Dan Ruzanowski to tell us what her name is for sure.
We really needed 2 points tonight, but I guess 1 point's better than none.
Yeah.
I think the goalie situation for the Sharks needs to be addressed.
No. Okay, before that, no. We wanted to get 2 points tonight. The need to get the 2 points, that I understand points are points, whether it's beginning of the season or at the end of the season, that you want to accumulate as many as you possibly can regardless, right? And that getting the points in the early part of the season is going to save you if you have, your trip ups in the later half of the season. Having said that, to mark this as a must-win game or a we have to have these points, we're not in a position right now where we would have to have those points. We are in a position where we're in a playoff position right now. We're second in the Pacific. I wouldn't call that a we have to have, we need to have, we must have those points. I definitely wanted those, and we should have had those. But it's way too early in the season to say that we needed those points necessarily.
We're coming up on the halfway point.
Yeah.
Another 4 more games and we'll be there, or 3 more games.
Yeah.
And we're still in second position in the Pacific, right behind Calgary. We're ahead of Vegas, ahead of Anaheim, and we actually play Anaheim this week.
Yeah.
Which will be good. Hopefully it doesn't go to overtime, and hopefully we get a regulation win.
Mm-hmm.
I still think Anaheim's going to tank.
What was the second part of that question I missed?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the standings.
My bad.
I think the goalie situation of the Sharks needs to be addressed. I don't quite understand why. I thought Jones played really well against Minnesota, and even before that, the week or two before that, he's been showing what I've been saying all along, where he gets better the later the season goes and the more he gets into a rhythm. And I think Dell is exactly like Jones. I don't think he's any better. He's definitely not worse than Jones, and I still don't think that he would be a good starter. I think Jones is just fine. I think it's the team defense that we've been saying all along that just needs to get shored up and better.
I mean, take a look at some of those goals. Like, a lot of them are, again, the odd man rush, the breakaway, Kovalchuk, right? That was the game winner, was what happened. Evander Kane fired a shot. He was the last man back. Vlasic had pinched in, trying to get that, looking for a pass, I think. He was on the right wing. And so Kane brings it in. Again, he's the last man back. Fires it, and instead of just hitting the boards and stopping, it rims around.
Yeah,
and Kovalchuk picks it up and is off to the races. Like, you cannot blame Jones on that. And I know you were saying you wish that he had sprung out.
I was expecting to see Jones. Well, I was watching on TV. I was expecting it to pan around and see Jones out there trying to play it. At least dump it and get it out. Like, ice the puck. Who cares? Just dump it. I think he would have beaten Kovalchuk on the foot race to get there. Because by the time the puck crossed into the zone, Kovalchuk was just at his own blue line. So he still had that whole neutral zone to skate through to get to the puck.
I would watch that replay again because he picked up the puck at the blue line, didn't he?
No, it was already in the Sharks' zone. It was already, like, it was funny because the puck was actually moving quicker than I thought it was, and it kept sliding into the zone. He picked it up on almost the half boards on the left side.
So here's the other thing to consider too. The previous game, Jones had left the net, right, in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
He had gotten really aggressive after the puck.
He slid out, though. That's different.
Yeah. But I'm saying he was really aggressive, and he
I
went.
Understand.
Can you imagine the storm that he would have faced if he jumped out of that net and that play didn't go as designed?
Right.
Because then you've got Kovalchuk with a wide open net, as opposed to, he's at least trying to stop a breakaway with somebody that's kind of back checking.
Right.
I don't know. I'd want to watch that again because I'm not sure that he would have made it. He would have beaten Kovalchuk to that puck, but
I know. I
one way or the other.
Watch that and look at that.
In terms of the addressing the goalie situation, I don't know. I'm with Aaron on this one. I think that Martin Jones is a phenomenal goaltender, and he's the victim of some pretty poor defensive plays in front of him. Like, yes, people are saying, well, if we had an elite goaltender, first of all, where are you going to get an elite goaltender? You have to trade something off for him, and you're going to have to give something up phenomenal for an elite goaltender. That's just not going to happen. And if you're saying he's not an elite goaltender, well, then let's stop expecting that he's going to stop every breakaway that comes his way, every 2-on-1 that comes his way. You got to look at these goals, and if he's sliding across, it's not the expectation that he makes the save. It's you're hoping he makes a save. You're hoping that he's fast enough. But when a goaltender has to move across like that and he's not set and the angle's off and he's sliding, he's down, and I mean, any of these players can lift the puck from the paint and hit the crossbar. I mean, they can, on their backhand, they can lift it. You know what I mean? So getting the puck up and over is not that difficult for these guys. I don't know. I think the expectations for Martin Jones are way higher than the reality, right? And maybe that's a good thing, holding him to, what we'd like him to be. But to say that we need to trade him off and he's I mean, who else are you going to get right now that you're not going to get? Give anybody else up off of your roster to get an elite goaltender that's going to do any better.
The other thing with an elite goaltender is you got to pay him.
Yeah,
so
we don't have money.
Right. There's two trains of thoughts. You can have like Montreal has Carey Price, the highest paid goalie, and at the time when he got paid, he was the best goalie in the league. Now he's kind of, it's interesting.
Upper mid tier.
He's still good.
Yeah.
But the team around him is awful because they can't pay them. Because they can't pay good players to come in and play because they don't have enough money.
Look at Chicago.
Do you pay a good goalie or do you pay a good defense, which is what the Sharks have been doing, to have an elite defensive core? Because those guys are going to be doing more than just defense. They're going to be scoring points.
Right.
So it's almost a better thought process to spend more money on defense than it is on a goalie. So you get you're not getting subpar goalie. You're getting a good goalie, just not an elite goalie.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think the Sharks are doing, and I think they're doing it right. Because right now, I'm looking at their cap friendly. Jones is making 5.75. Dell's making 1.9, which I think is a little bit much for a backup. But
he's solid.
I know. I understand.
Yeah, yeah.
But my point is there's another comment here. The Sharks goalies are showing inconsistency. No, they're being very consistent because if you look at their numbers, they're very consistent. Jones and Dell have almost the exact same numbers, so it's obvious it's not the goaltending that's the problem when they get most of these goals scored on them.
Yeah.
It's the team defense that's breaking down. It's the fast breaks coming back the other way because of high turnovers or in the neutral zone. So I think the goalie situation is just fine. And there's also Nick Stella in all caps. We do not need new goalies. Reading it. Okay, I'm falling behind here on here. Let's move on. I hope Ekman Larson gets suspended with the elbow on the bank.
2 games.
Yes. Can you do a quick recap of what you've been talked about? No, just read it.
Start over.
Thoughts on when nobody was stepping in when Ekman Larson nailed Banker. Man, that's really.
Oh, why didn't somebody step up for Banker?
I like to see that personally. Yeah. I think somebody should have. I think
Sorensen's on that line.
They were talking about that about a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Who was it that Sorensen?
Sorensen,
right? When he got 2 black eyes from sticking up, right?
For Jumbo,
right? Yeah.
He's the enforcer on that line,
right? And that's ridiculous because the guy is like 160 pounds, soaking wet. That guy should not be an enforcer. But yeah, I agree. They should. They should have stuck up for something.
But I do it for you guys. No, I mean, what I'm looking for out of that is consistency from the Department of Player Safety. If the hit from Carlson, first of all, and we'll probably talk about this tonight, and we will talk about this tonight on the show. Yeah. If the hit from Carlson is 2 games, then that sets the precedence. Anybody who's never had a headshot before, who's not known for doing it before, who has no history of doing it before, is not a malicious player, has no history of doing any weird stuff, even if it's not headshots, has no history of playing like that, gets 2 games for his first offense, that's the bar.
See, I agree with you, but I don't think that that's going to happen because the NHL Discipline Committee is so all over the map. They are just crazy. There used to be Down Goes Brown. There's a chart, and it's hilarious. This is when Chris Pronger was in the league.
Okay.
And it's like a yes or no. Did this happen? Yes or no? And it branches off, right? And it's basically like, gosh darn it, Chris Pronger, stop doing that. Like that's like the end thing.
Okay.
But it's funny. It's like it's roll the dice and see how many games they get. So
I would have liked to have seen.
I want to see consistency.
Yes, I would have liked to have seen either a fine made sense, right?
Yeah.
Fine the guy. It fines players don't really care about the fines. Here's $5,000 or whatever. Okay, slap on the wrist. Who cares? I donate that in a day. Whatever. But the 1 game suspension, I think, for a first-time offender, especially for somebody who's been in the league for a long time. This isn't like he's a rookie coming in his first season and boom, he has a headshot on his record now. This is a guy who's played for a long time in this league. And
he was a little feisty tonight.
You think so?
Larson. Yeah, with he got into it earlier.
Oh,
with
I meant Carlson.
Sorry.
I was talking about Carlson. In terms of setting the bar, right? If you're going to say that Carlson's streak of not ever doing this before and having 1 headshot on his record now means he has a 2 game suspension, that to me is... I don't know. Then all
I'm
of them got to be
surprised.
2-game
I
suspensions.
thought it would have been a 1 game personally, just because there was no penalty called on the play.
Yeah.
I thought it was. I mean, it was kind of a headshot, but it wasn't. Obviously, it wasn't intentional.
It
wasn't
was,
go for the
yeah.
head. But I understand what the league is trying to do. They're in trouble because of all these headshots over the years. Maybe not recently, and they got hit with a big settlement recently for CTE stuff. So.
Concussion stuff?
Yeah, they're trying to like curtail it and get ahead of it before it gets out of control and before they get sued again. Anyway, hold on, I gotta move on because we're falling behind here. Dell's becoming the 2016 Staylock. Brett's been commenting a lot on our videos. Just when I was going to admit my bias for Jones' hate last week, he goes and does this. Do you think there may be a trade for a goalie, maybe for a Herd, or I think it's supposed to be Heed, maybe for Heed or Ryan? No, they're not getting a goalie.
A goalie for Heat or Ryan? Who are you going to get?
It's fine. Jones still lost the Jets game channeling his inner Nabby. That was such a broken play. I can't really blame Jones. I blame him a little bit for sliding a little too far and being too aggressive. But he also tripped up with Braun, I think it was, once he got down the ice, so he couldn't recover quick enough.
Braun was sliding across and kind of bumped him too. But the damage had already been done. Even if Braun wasn't there, that puck was probably going in.
I thought Jones and the whole line, all the forwards and defense just kind of like panicked too much, I think.
Flubbed it, yeah.
Yeah, I think they just overthought it, and they...
And I got into a bit of a back and forth with somebody on Facebook page, and what he did was, I can't remember what it was I had said, and he said, he gave me a picture he said, oh, is it soft enough for you? I said, I don't think the definition of soft goal, I think we need to go over the definition of a soft goal. Because to me, a soft goal isn't just it was easy to score. That's an easy goal. A soft goal is when the goaltender is set, no screen, the shot is coming from a not very dangerous area, and it still gets through. And it's not like a picking the corners kind of thing. If it shoots and it goes under an arm, that's soft. Shoots and it goes 5-hole from way out there with no screen, that's soft. I get it. A lot of these goals people are calling soft, I don't consider them soft goals. The ones that hit the corners, those are snipes.
Yeah.
That's just a really good shot, and that's what that is. The ones where he's sliding out, that was an easy goal. It was a bad mistake. It's not a soft goal. It was an easy goal. There's a difference to me. Maybe to some people it's not, but from my definition, that's what I call it. And I went back and forth with this person a bunch of times, and he gave me a picture of Jones like way out in no man's land, said, is this soft enough for you? And I said, well, and I went over the definition, my definition of soft, and I said, it's too convenient for you to put up that screenshot of everyone in front of the net, and one of them is not Jones, and he's all the way off in the corner, right? It's too convenient for you to put that, exactly, yeah. It's too convenient for you to put that one shot up. Let's rewind, let's watch the tape. What happens? The puck gets flipped in, and it's a very lazy, lackadaisical, like slap of the puck by, I think it was Vlasic, and it doesn't clear the zone. It gets stuck at the blue line. Both Braun and Vlasic, after that, peel off towards the boards, leaving the middle wide open. The puck goes right back up the middle, only this time it's got, a player on the other end of it. And so then they both panic, and they both pinch towards the middle, which leaves the side wide open. So the pass goes to the side. Dude gets it, starts bringing it around towards Jones' right side, right? Well, Jones is starting to play the middle again because he had no defenders. Now the defenders are over here, and the puck goes across. So now he's sliding across rather than go backwards to the post, which I think he could have done. I mean, I don't know. It might be difficult for him to maneuver his skates that way and still have his pads in the right direction. But he could have maybe gone back to the post. I don't know. But instead what he does is he kind of goes out and plays aggressively against the puck. And that bit him because now he's like down and sliding, and he's trying to beat this player. Goalies are not as fast as skaters are. So he's trying to get up to this guy, and the only way he can get over there is to slide. So now he's sliding, and he's out of position. He's way out there, and all the guy has to do is just turn the corner. So, yes, it was an overly aggressive move. Was it a soft goal? No, it was an easy goal. Yeah. It was just a really aggressive move by a guy who was trying to save the game.
Yep. Thoughts about keeping Heed in the lineup after today? No?
I'm shaking my head no because
suspended.
That's
game.
why. Who's he replacing right now? He's replacing a guy who's suspended, who's an all-star Norris Trophy winner, two-time Norris Trophy winner.
No, I'm saying the next game. Carlson's still out.
Yeah. For the next
him
game,
in
sure.
the next game.
Oh, is that the question?
Well, it says thoughts
Just
on keeping Heed in the lineup after today. I'm going to say after
Next
today, the next game,
Next
because
game.
Carlson still out. I thought he played pretty well, and it's a kind of a reward for him for sticking it out, kind of like with Šimek
You know
being
what I
out for
think.
so long. Yeah, they're
You already know what I
showcasing him. So I think it's a great time to showcase him without hurting the lineup because Carlson has to be out.
Yeah.
So no big deal. I think we are going to be moving one of those guys, and I think he would be the upper hand because he's a right-handed shot. And those are a little bit more rare in the NHL.
He's a right-handed shot. He's shown the ability to be offensive, and
He had a
he's
goal
also
tonight.
He's also on the last year of his contract.
Right.
Whereas Šimek is on he's got 2 years left, I think.
I'll tell you right now.
I'm not sure about Yokes, actually.
Šimek's got 2 years.
Yeah.
Ryan's in his last year. He's an RFA. Tim Heed's a UFA.
There you go. Yeah, Tim Heed's going to get traded. Don't get attached. And it's okay. It's not like he sucks. There's no problem with
No.
Tim Heed. He's a great, phenomenal player. He's just log jammed behind guys that are better than him. That's
Yeah.
all that it is, and it's okay.
I think we were just tired after 3 games in 4 days plus Christmas. I agree.
Yes.
I think the Sharks have had one of the toughest schedules
I heard.
they usually do every year, but this
Yeah.
one especially seems really rough. And what I'm excited about is I think it's going to get a little bit easier going in towards the second half of the season, and we'll see them really put the foot down on the gas
Yeah.
and pull away a little bit more.
I heard one of the broadcasters say it. He goes, "They look tired. I know they look tired. I'm tired because he's been doing this stuff too." So
What do you think about Tarasenko on the trading block? I think it's awesome for St. Louis. I don't think the
Yeah.
Sharks are going to get him. I don't think they should get him because they'd have to give up too much to get him. He's a right winger, so I have him on my fantasy team, which is fantastic, except this year he's terrible because the team is terrible.
yeah.
I think I don't think realistically the Sharks would be able to land him for anything that would be worth going after. So another nice sweaters though from Jason Hillier.
Thank you.
Jason.
Hellier.
Hillier.
Yeah.
Hillier. Sorry.
Hillier.
Defense and goaltending are a huge disappointment this year. Don't change the players yet, change the staff. That's an interesting one. I think that might have been what the meeting was about with Wilson a couple weeks ago. And then they rotated the staff around to give it a little bit of a change. So
Let's be fair. It worked the first 4. I mean, we won
this week
4 or 5
wasn't
games.
that bad.
Yeah.
They got 2 points from those 2 games where they were losing. They shouldn't have gotten any points. So, whatever. I still think they're okay. I still think.
No, I think they're okay too.
I think if they were in a different division and they were so far behind, I think we'd see some more changes. But the fact that they're in second place in the Pacific and have some games in hand on some of the teams, I think they're just fine. I mean, at this point, you just need to get into the playoffs. Who cares where your seeding is? Like, get into the playoffs and then do some real damage. So, I have considerably cared less about the regular season, minus the fact of getting into the playoffs.
Right.
Especially after being burned so many times when the Sharks have won the President's Trophy or looking great going into the playoffs because they've been dominant and then they lose to a inferior team. So it's frustrating, and I'd rather see it the other way around where they not so much coast, but they're not going all out.
All out, yeah.
And then once it becomes March, April, they start going all out like we saw them 2 years ago and just kill teams. So I'm fine with it. Jesus. Okay, let me catch up here. People, we have our goalies. It's Jones and Dell. End of story. The team needs to feel confident in their goalie. Telling the press we believe is different than actually believing. I say if the Kings player didn't get hurt, then Carlson gets no suspension. Maybe it was 1 game instead of 2.
I would have been
was
okay
hurt.
with a 1-game suspension. If they said a 1-game suspension, I'd been like, meh, okay, fine, whatever. But the 2 just seems excessive for a guy that's never. We've talked about it already, but it just seems excessive.
Didn't see the game tonight, but did the Sharks have any one-time opportunities in the power play and overtime?
Any one-timer opportunities?
I think that's what he's asking. Any one-time opportunities on the power play in overtime?
Yeah, I think.
Did they set up any
Burns
one-timers?
fired a couple. Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw Burns fire a couple. There was a 4-on-3 in the OT actually because they got a power play. So that was pretty cool, but they didn't capitalize on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Trade Carlson for Tarasenko. No.
No.
No. Not worth it. Rick Nash, right wing.
No.
I talked about this earlier.
No.
I said if you could sign him for cheap and he's on the third and fourth line, if he's on the third line with Thornton,
You keep talking.
for
I'm going to
depth?
start wooing.
just for depth, I don't know. Here's a good question. Any Barracuda players to keep an eye on for the future? Guys
Yes.
like Middleton, Perron, True, Habgavax,
Halbgavax.
Dubois, or other prospects.
I don't even know if this person even cares if we actually keep an eye on them. I think they just wanted you to try to say it.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. I gotta look at it. Habgavax.
Halb?
Halb.
Halbgavax.
Habgavax. Habgavax.
Halbgavax.
Every time I look at it, I go Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Hogwarts. It just my mind just goes there. I didn't even read the Harry Potter books. It's-
Oh.
The downfall is when you look at the L and the B and you go Halbg.
yeah.
It's Halb.
Habgavax.
Gavax.
Vox.
Yeah, V. W's or
All right.
V's in German.
Who should we watch for? Who do you think?
The
I don't
Vin
know.
Factor.
I don't think we're going to see too much this season just because the Sharks are pretty deep on the Sharks roster. I think next year we'll see a little bit more. What I'm interested in, and I think we're going to talk about is, was it Chekovich or was it
Djokovic.
Chekovich or was it Shemleski that made the team?
Sasha made the USA
Yeah.
team. Yeah.
Well, both of those guys actually probably when their seasons are done, their junior team, they're going to be on the
Yeah.
Barracuda, and it'll be towards the end of the Barracuda season, just like they did last year. But I'm interested to see what they do, and the Barracuda are doing so well that they're obviously going to make playoffs this year
Oh, yeah.
versus last year they were fighting for a spot.
Yeah.
So they're going to get some bonus hockey time and playing with the big boys instead of juniors.
It's
So-
going to be interesting to see what they do with those two this year because last season they did bring them in. They made a big difference, right?
Mhm.
This season they're already so good
Yeah.
that they may not get top line minutes or anything like that. You know, they may slot in more in like the third or a single line that maybe isn't doing too hot.
Yeah.
You know, but can you imagine that? Think if
Adding those two guys to a team that's already really good.
right.
Yeah.
And I went and saw them. That's how I got my. I don't know if you guys caught this. Did you see my bobble, guys? This is pretty sweet. John McCarthy and Joe Thornton, Jumbo as Santa here, and McCarthy as Rudolph, or a deer at least, a reindeer. By the way, I have like 3 of these. If anybody wants to trade for the
Hurdle?
one tonight, yeah, Hurdle's holiday sweater one, I'd be happy to do it for you guys. That's kind of what I'm thinking about doing that moving forward. Of taking things that I've got from games, and if people want to like trade out and whatnot. I mean, I'd like you to trade me for things that other people would like, so that we can kind of keep it going. You know, I'm not planning on selling any of this stuff or anything, but I mean, it'd be cool like to kind of get kind of a swap meet thing going. Fin
Yeah, that'd
Factor
be
swap
cool.
meet. It would be sweet.
Yeah, because then whatever we get, we're just going to add
yeah,
to the
we'll
show.
we'll add
So
it
you're gonna see
here,
it.
and then if somebody likes it and they want
Yeah.
to trade us for something else, we can trade that out. And,
I
you
think
know.
after the All-Star game, we'll move that to make some more space.
Yes,
Because it's taking up a quarter of the table. It's enormous.
Gigantic. Back to the Barracuda. I went to the previous 2 games against the Roadrunners, the Tucson Roadrunners, and they were good games. Both of them 4-3. One of them were the Cuda 1. One of them were Tucson 1. And I mean, God, it was just really good hockey up and down the ice, man. It's just a lot of fun to watch, and the fact that you're only paying $10 a
Yeah.
ticket. I mean, it's hard to beat. And, you know, we sit down. I had my kids with me I had the whole family the first game, and then Tina didn't want to go for the second game, so it was me and the boys. If anybody saw on our Twitter account, maybe, I think I put it up, the head.
Instagram.
Was it Instagram?
Yeah.
The Santa head?
Yeah.
So that was me with the
Yeah.
Santa head on. If you were at that game.
I'm going to the game a week from today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the
Cool.
30th. And we'll be going the whole family. So
But, okay, guys, look for it. Francis Perron
Sorry,
is
yeah.
absolutely killing it. Habgavax is doing very well. I think he's a little small for the NHL right now. I think, size-wise, you can't do anything about that. He's just going to have to grow. But
what's terrible when you're small is you have to be really skilled, which he
Yes.
is, but you also have to have an opportunity.
Yes.
To, especially as a scoring line, he's not going to do well on a 4th line in the NHL.
Right.
He's just going to get buried.
Yeah.
So he needs an opening on a 2nd line. Maybe
Even
first
third.
line.
I mean,
third
honestly,
line a
third
little
would be
bit.
okay.
Yeah.
Especially on this team, because this
Yeah.
team is deep. Let's say if Sorensen or LeBanc got
Right.
injured, you know, like the headshot or something, whatever, right? I could see him slotting in next to a guy like Thornton and
Yeah.
Sorensen or LeBanc, whichever way that goes.
Sorensen and Habgavax on
Yeah, it would be lightweight line, and then Jumbo to protect him, the
Yeah.
old man with the walking stick.
The grandpa.
Yeah. But yeah, those guys are looking really good, and I didn't really pay too much attention to the defenseman, but I know that it was Middleton, and I can't remember the guy. Wood, I think it's Wood and Middleton are the two that are like
True?
2 and 3. No, True is forward.
Oh.
Middleton and Wood, I think,
Roy?
are the two guys
Scoring.
that are on defense that are second and third in the team in scoring. I could be wrong on that. I really don't know. I go to the games. I enjoy the games. I don't really follow the players too much, but I mean, you can see when guys are starting to turn it on. So, Dylan Gambrell played pretty well too down there. We kind of forgot about Dylan Gambrell. So, he's a guy that was fighting for an NHL spot, and he got a couple games in, but he's back with the CUDA, and he's playing really well with them too. Lots of good stuff to look for with the Barracuda, and a lot of people saying we didn't do good with our draft picks, or we don't have a lot on the shelves. These guys are killing it right now, really killing it. So again, go out there, check them out. $10, and if you can find a night where they have the special, even if they don't have the special.
The game next Sunday is 2 for 1 because it's Frenzy's birthday.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So it's it's $5 a ticket. I mean,
nice.
That's just stupid cheap.
Otherwise, it's like $4 for the pretzels, a beer, a hot dog.
$2.
It's $4.
Oh.
Normally it's $4. When you go there and they have the special night, it's $1 hot dogs and $2 beers. I mean, and it's like limit 4, but then you just get back in line and get more hot dogs. It's not a problem. Absolutely go check them out.
All right, Rick Nash over Donskoy, yes or no?
No.
I would say no.
I don't want Rick Nash.
They're different types of players. Nash is more of a power forward. Donskoy is more of a possession playmaker.
Nash is a power forward who hasn't skated for anyone in the past, 6 months?
All right, I knew that would rile you up.
Come on, man.
I say that we're fine where we are and that we've always lacked in the first half and always have it during the second. I agree. Are you guys going to set up Super Chat for live streams? Yes, we are. We haven't done it yet. We haven't tried it yet.
Would you use the Super Chat? That's the question.
Maybe next week we'll try it.
Yeah, okay.
Let's say that. We'll do it next week.
Someone else had mentioned, sorry to cut you off, someone else had mentioned we should be on Patreon, and I know I had talked about that before, and Patreon's kind of weird with how they kind of take some of it, so I don't know. Maybe we'll think of something else that we can do, but we'd rather your desire to contribute to the show monetarily, we'd rather that go to the show more so than to a service. So
you can buy some swag from the store.
That would be the better way to go. If you want, I mean, for a Super
then
Chat,
you get something out of it.
Yeah, if you spend like, okay, so $5 Super Chat or something like that, and you do it for 5 episodes, I mean, why not just buy a T-shirt and we'll try to get your comment. Hopefully we'll get your comment, but then you get a T-shirt out of it, right?
I mean, yeah, we'll set up Super Chat because we haven't tried it out yet. So might as well. Is it Mirz Vlasic struggling? Yes, he's struggling.
Yes.
He's struggling. Don't know. Somebody kind of answered it. Several people pointed out that he seems to be struggling, might be injured. I don't know about an injury. He's just, something's off, man.
I had 2 things to say about if Vlasic is or isn't struggling or whatever. One was, again, the weak clear and then the peel to the boards and the overcommit back.
Yeah.
And I've seen him even tonight and so it wasn't the first time I've seen him tonight where he was late on getting the man back and the puck goes in.
And he stopped skating too.
Yeah, he's like a body or half body behind a guy.
Yeah.
Maybe an attitude problem or whatever because he's not getting enough minutes. And I'm going, I don't think that's the case, but I do think it may have something to do with his minutes, and not that he's jealous or anything, but maybe he's just used to playing more minutes, and this is screwing up his rhythm.
Could be.
By lines that you can throw out there, 2 very offensive and 1 defensive, and he's not seeing as many minutes. Maybe it's just throwing his game off. I don't know.
Could be something there. Who knows? Anthony Sanchez has an extra Kaner boxing bobblehead.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Would you want to trade?
Oh, I kind of want to stick with the holiday theme on this one.
Nah.
But,
You got 3 of them. 4 of them.
Now, I mean, I don't know what else
Oh, we have an
we
extra.
might have. Couture?
I got the
No.
Bibot. I have an extra Bibot.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if you want, but I mean, hey, if you did want a Bobo, we have one. We could trade you, unless you're just offering it to the show, in which case you're a beast. Thank you. But yeah, here's our Bobo. Which, by the way, I was thinking it goes like this on the blocker.
No, it goes.
No,
in
man,
this.
it goes like that.
Yeah, there's a picture of it.
Yeah.
In there.
And it's supposed to stay, but
Right.
it kind of does. There you go.
Comcast is messing us up right now.
No, boo, Comcast.
Are we cut off? Are we all right? All right. Several people pointed out that he's seen. Most of the goals against the Sharks in the last 3 games against the Vlasic D pair. We've noticed that too.
Yeah.
Definitely have to make it down there for the playoffs. Owen Nolan is down, but not out. Will we see Sumela again? I think we will. I think what's going to happen, and we kind of talked about this in the show earlier. Yeah, he came off the ice. We talked about this in much previous episodes, like in the beginning of our show. I can't talk. I think it's going to be kind of a rotating door based on how guys are performing. You also kind of reward guys that are doing well in the Barracuda, bring them up. If someone else is struggling, send them down, like Suomela, to get his confidence back. So I bet we see him again, because I bet somebody else is going to struggle, and they're going to just kind of, same with the defense, like the 6th, 7th defensive pairing, that you kind of rotate them around to keep them fresh and keep them on their toes.
And that's a good point. And to go back to, who should we look forward to maybe being called up from the Barracuda? I mean, there's still guys that were playing with the Sharks that have been dropped down, like Suomela, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, how many of those guys are we going to see get called up? Maybe not that many. I would actually be interested in talking to Doug Wilson or Pete DeBoer and asking them, even Roy Sommer, and asking them, okay, what about Radil did you see? Because I don't think he was leading the team in points or anything. So what was it about his play that you saw and thought, that's going to translate well to the NHL?
It's not always about points.
Yeah.
Like those 4th-line guys, you want those guys to grind out stuff and be penalty killers and play the 200-foot game versus scoring points.
But that's what I would love to know. I'd love to know what specific, because obviously
the little
it's
things
not.
that they're looking for, that the little details that you don't necessarily catch on TV or in person, because you're not focusing on that one player the whole time on the ice. Yeah, that'd be an interesting question.
I would love to ask that question, and because I mean, again, you've got guys that are scoring more points, and that's not the only indication of whether or not they belong in the NHL. And Radil steps in, and he's been making a pretty good difference on that 4th line.
Vlasic wants a team puppy, so he can't focus. That was a joke. Audio's cutting out. Are we all right now?
Sorry.
I think it's pronounced Bibo.
Bibo.
Get rid of the jersey and have a bobblehead wall.
Then they won't break.
Yeah, they would break. They would fall off the wall.
Yeah, actually, they'd fall off the wall. I don't know.
When we first started the show, the producer bumped the table a bunch of times, fixing stuff and moving stuff around, and some of these are glued and re-glued and not working so well. Honest question about Vlasic. Did he suffer a concussion this year? Because I fear he's suffering the same symptoms Boyle was dealing with during his last year. I can't think of a time where he got hit, but who knows?
The last time I remember Vlasic getting a headshot was in the playoffs a long time ago, and that was the LA Kings reverse sweep where he got elbowed in the back of the head in the defensive zone. It was like Stoll or somebody did that. Yeah, that was a long time ago though. So I don't think. I can't think of any other time where he's been given a headshot.
Who do you think are all-stars this year? Like, who should be at the all-star game?
I hope Jumbo's in there.
Burns.
Yeah.
I think Burns. Jumbo won't go. Yeah, he's not having a year.
No. But the fans. The fans will vote him in, don't you think?
Yeah, have you done the voting yet?
Yeah.
So I did it. It's kind of funky.
Been fan voting for him.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bunch of people are doing it, man.
I don't think
if you can get John Scott in, you can get Jumbo Joe into San Jose.
Yeah, you need like everyone to rally behind that, and that wasn't just one team of fans doing that. Couture and Burns, I would say. Maybe even Timo, because his goal scoring.
Pavelski got 23 goals,
23 goals and 7 assists.
He's already beaten his last season in goals.
Yeah.
We're like halfway.
If I had to choose between those 4, the top 4 scores are Couture in order: Couture, Burns, Meyer, Pavelski. Man. And remember, it's a 3-on-3 game.
Do we get 3? Do we get 4? How many guys do we get?
I think 2 is the max.
I think 3. They can get 3.
Really?
Some of the commentator guys or whatever we're talking. No, not commentators. The guys behind the desk.
Let's say 3 max.
Okay, say 3. Yeah.
God, then you'd have a whole line.
Burns, JoJo.
I'd like to see Timo, Burns. Timo and Burns would be my top 2.
Okay.
Yeah,
I still think Pavs makes it.
I think so too because of his pedigree. Because he's been there. I think
He's
once.
been there, and he's got 23. He's leading the team, isn't he? I mean,
I don't know.
I think it's Burns, Pavs, and I would love to see Jumbo Joe get voted in.
No, no. I don't want to see Jumbo
Let's
there.
pretend. Let's pretend he
I don't want to
does.
see him there.
Let's pretend he does.
I want to see the fastest skaters. I want to see the fastest goal scorers on the team right now. Timo Meyer is fast. I want to see him in the All-Star. It's 3-on-3, 5-on-5.
So
it's exciting. I want to see him score.
Oh my goodness.
I want to see him do well. I want him to represent San Jose and do well.
You're acting like the guy is walking out there instead of skating. He's not that slow.
Compared to everyone else that will be at the All-Star game, yes. He's going to be the slowest
You can
guy.
beat
You know what'd
anybody
be great?
skating with a good
I'd love to
pass.
see Joe Thornton go to the skills competition and race McDavid around the ice and see how that ends up during the skills competition. I think that'd be awesome. I think it'd be hilarious.
That would be good. I like that.
Okay. Do you think there's a reason we aren't seeing Donskey or Timo in the shootout lineup when we've gotten this far? I was thinking about that. They're 0 for 3 on the shootout. It's obviously not working. I think Pavelski shouldn't take it anymore because he hasn't been scoring. I think you change it up at this point. It's 3 shootouts and those 3 guys haven't got it done.
I think part of the problem with Pavelski taking the shootout is
too
that
slow.
everyone's seen it. No, shut up. I think
He's
everyone's
got 2
seen
moves
him.
basically.
Yeah.
I think Donskoy is great on. In fact, my tweet that I have saved at the top, I have it locked on my Twitter account. It's from January of 16. It's 3 years ago. It's Donskoy in a shootout goal.
Yeah.
And he jukes the bejesus out of. I think it was Edmonton. I think it was Talbot. I could be wrong.
Takes the hard left and then.
Oh yeah, just
bears
jukes
back.
him out of his shorts.
Yeah.
It's great. I think they should change it up. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know about Timo, but Donskoy is definitely a good one.
You know what's funny is I've gone to the practices and I've seen them do this. They do a shootout tournament, by the end of a practice sometimes, and Justin Braun,
Really?
he almost won it a couple times. I'm telling you, and he came off the ice, and this is what Justin Braun. If you guys remember, Justin Braun is one of those guys that in the last episode I said when they come, some guys come off the ice and they just whatever. Justin Braun's one of those guys where it's like, hey, Justin, that's it, right? And he comes off the ice, and he had just scored 2 goals in a row, and he got to try again the third time, and he finally got stymied. And right after that, he goes and grabs his stick, and he comes off. And as soon as he comes off, and I yelled, hey, nice mitts, Justin. And he looks over, he's like, ha, he's laughing. It was like the first time I've seen the guy like coming off the ice and smiling and laughing. Other than that, he's always been like the grunt, caveman style.
All right, I'm going to blow through these really
Sure.
quick. Vlasic missed time when he suffered a concussion when the puck hit him high in the head area last year. Yeah, that's right. So that was more recent than the LA one.
Oh, the puck hit him in the head. I forgot about that.
Jumbo should totally be captain. Vlasic hasn't looked the same since that injury for the All-Star game. Pavelski over Timo. Carlson's suspension seems unfair. Do you think the NHL department has it right? We kind of talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
I think one game, I would have been fine with one
I'd have
game.
been
I
fine
think
with
two's
it.
a little harsh.
Yeah.
But I understand why they did it. They're trying to stamp that stuff out. Jumbo is heck of fast for 40 years old. You're right. He's probably the fastest 40-year-old in the league because he's the only 40-year-old in the league.
Is he 40 or 39?
He's 39. Or is he 40 now? I don't know.
I'm sticking up for you, Joe.
I hope Ekman Larson gets suspended. Yes.
2 games. It should be 2 games
Yep.
for Ekman Larson. Not because I think that he deserves
And
it.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm
Yeah.
saying I'm not going to be shocked when the NHL says, nothing.
It should be, and I agree. It should be 2 games, not because I think that that's what it should be, but because they've set the bar. A guy who doesn't do headshots, has no history of headshots, just got 2 games for his first offense.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even like he tried to do it. It just doesn't make sense to me. But hey, that's the
Donskoy,
bar.
Hurdle, Sorensen in the shootout. I could go with that. Donskoy, LeBanc, Sorensen shootout.
Sorensen's
LeBanc's another one that's good.
Sorensen's not bad from what I've seen in the shootout practices, but
Yeah.
he doesn't generally put the puck in the net.
He's better at breakaways than shootouts, which is different. It's a lot different. Put Jones in the shootout so people leave him alone. Also make Dell the team enforcer. Have a Merry Christmas, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
We're going to wrap up.
Actually, yeah, with that, we are
Yeah.
going to wrap up. So,
Merry Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
We're going to record our episode tonight. It should be out tomorrow. So now that the NHL is off for the next 3 days, enjoy watching the episode and share with friends. And if you need to spread the love. You can feel free to visit our store on our website at thefactory.com and pick up a shirt or a
And
hat.
we are still giving away. I got one right here, actually. This is Radil, right?
The
real
Redeal.
Radil. I don't like Randy Hunt's way of saying it. I like mine better. So
I like Randy, so I like the real deal Redeal.
fair enough. So that's another sticker I got right there. So yeah, we're still doing that. So up until January 1st, if you guys order a shirt and a hat, I'll happily throw in one of our signed stickers on top of that deal. So
Yep.
and that real Radil.
The real Redeal.
So thanks again, guys, for tuning in. It's awesome. We love this interaction going back and forth with you. So
We'll add the super chat next week.
Yeah.
And try it out. We never done it, so I have no idea what it even looks like. I think I'm just imagining your thing just like blinks in my face, so I know where it is.
it shows up and then it holds it up there so you can actually read it off.
all right.
And yeah. So
I like the blinking better.
you want the blinking?
like
Okay.
your shirt.
All right. Well, no, to blink, I'd have to.
Perfect. That's even better. Give people seizures. Great.
Anyway, thanks again for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. We're going to get off to our recording now. So
Yep.
we'll just see you guys tomorrow morning, I guess.
Yep.
So very good. Thanks a lot. Have a
Take
good
care.
night. Bye-bye.